Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this taste challenge. This is going to count more afternoon's taste challenge. I was watching the Tampa Bay Rays beat up the Chicago White Sox, but after it's 8-0, I was like, this game ain't worth it, And then it was 9-0. I turned it off, going into the ninth inning, 9-0. I said, well, that's a fiasco for Chicago. Big victory for Tampa Bay there at Tropicana Field, which I've been to like at least 15 times. But anyway, I was having bad feelings about tomorrow. Like I said, watch, it's going to be too hectic. So let me do it today. And then I just skip a day and then catch up with Dawn Busters on Tuesday. And that sounds like a good plan. So we have the 12-year age Dewar's 12-year age, the Ancestor as it's nicknamed, produced under a royal warrant for Queen Elizabeth of, it says right here, by appointment to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Scotch whiskey distillers, Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, also Queen of Canada, Queen of Jamaica, Queen of the Bahamas, Queen of the Cayman Islands, Queen of Gibraltar, Queen of the Turks and Caicos Islands. I'm not going to name them all. All right. Although I could without notes. Anyway, so the Dewar's 12, I think it's been in straight production for the last 9 years, but it was around before. I posted some of those ads in Alcohol Eggs, the Facebook group, and they were showing, well, of course, the white label, which used to be 86.6 proof, and it was, say, age 6 years. And then in the background, it said also the 12-year age, and it was like 90 proof. And then, I don't know, ownership changes happened, and now it's owned by Bacardi, and they decided to bring back the 12-year, which had died away. Just like Diageo brought back Captain Morgan White Rum, which had been around, because I was looking at an ad from 1974. It just had a slightly different name. So I'm not going to put Dewar's 12 introduced in a specific year because I don't really know the year. I know it was around 2009, but I know that was like a reintroduction. Okay. And then Dewar says, we have not changed the recipe. What does it say? A recipe unchanged since 1899, the white label. Well, how's it unchanged if it was a 6-year age, 86.6 proof, and now it's a no age statement, 80 proof? They should put a recipe largely unchanged or, pretty much not changed. But anyway, you can't fight it. I mean, I'm not worrying about it. Here's the competitor, Cutty Sark, named after the ship called the Cutty Sark. Now it's owned by Martiniquaise. It was the Edrington Group. When I bought this bottle, it was the Edrington Group. But they sold it to Martiniquaise of France, who also owns Glenmorangie, the single malt. And then they talk about the spirit of adventure and all of this, and our actions define who we are, and it got all this fancy write-up about it. And I can get a bottle of this, a big handle bottle, like that glass handle bottle. I can get that for $22.99, and I'm not joking. So let's go by the right size. $22.99 for Cutty Sark versus $48.99 for Dewar's 12. So Dewar's 12, to beat it by $26, it's going to have to really perform. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Jay Hoppy says, did you ever drink when you were 21 years old? Actually, no, I did not. That was over 30 years ago. And I was never part of that, like, drinking culture. When I was in high school, a lot of other kids, that's what they live for, and it's like, it didn't appeal to me. I used to have a weak stomach anyway until I was 19 years old, and I couldn't handle like stuff. And so, and I was just like observing people, in my family and friends at school and all, who got into marijuana and drugs and alcohol. And I just always saw their performance level go down. You know, I just thought, I don't want to be part of that. Now I drank Coca-Cola, RC Cola, you know, soft drinks and all. But those made me sick. I was wondering, like, oh, I feel terrible. Yeah, I used to feel bad, like in the afternoon and stuff. I was like, what's wrong with me? You know, do I have some kind of illness? Then around 10 years ago, I just stopped drinking soft drinks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and all that, private label. I just stopped. I just like, I don't want to drink this stuff anymore. Because I started drinking beer in February 1996 as an experiment. I said, everybody's talking about beer, like they're crazy, you know, and but I didn't want to just say, oh, I'm gonna go crazy, start drinking like a fool. You know, I just wanted to taste stuff like a project, you know, like I do little projects, like read every National Geographic magazine from 1923 to the present. Well, I did that. It took 20 years almost, but I did it. Maybe like 15 years. Or another project, go to every state. Well, I haven't completed that because I got 2 left. Another project was go to a game at every major league ballpark. Go to a baseball game at every major league ballpark. So I did that. It took a lot of effort. And I even took some tours like at the Orioles Park and Rogers Center. So, you know, and so the beer drinking was a project. Let me taste every beer that I, you know, realistically can try, you know, within reason. So I started with Miller High Life in February 96. And I saved the bottles, you know, like a collection. A lot of them faded. The paper, like the bottles especially, will fade. Some cans too. And so I had to throw them out. They look bad, you know, but I did not have them in direct light. It was just ambient light, faded them. And so, but that's all this is. It's like a project, you know. And it sounds screwball, like you say, well, who drinks like a project? Me, I guess other people too. So, okay, 25 years of the project. And then I did wines, you know, try with wines. I'm not a big wine drinker, but I tried them just to see, you know, what does this taste like and all. It was pretty interesting. That's a good project. And then about 8 years ago, liquor, you know, I had, well, really over 20 years ago, liquor, because Katz and Bestoff sold to Rite Aid, and I wanted to get something with a Katz and Bestoff label, so I got the K&B vodka. You know, it's just Taka vodka that was made by Sazerac, rebranded, you know, but it was okay. It didn't taste bad. Didn't taste like much of anything, but you know. So then about 10 years ago, I said, let me try different liquors, and then it really started 5 years ago in 2016, where I said, I'm gonna make that a project. That could be a fun project. That could be a fun project. And if I don't like it, I just won't drink it. You know, I'll try different whiskeys and rums and everything. And brandy, it started with brandy. I said, well, all I gotta do is just not drink it. But then they were interesting. So I said, oh, this is just like beer, you know, and started trying different things. RC Cola make you roll. Yeah, it made me sick. Louis Betancourt. I quit soft drinks a long time ago for a cheap gas station beer. Well, you know, whenever I stopped drinking the soft drinks, I didn't feel bad anymore. I lost over 30 pounds. I started a diet and an exercise program, lost over 30 pounds. And then by drinking the beer, it made me feel better. Like actually literally made me feel better. But probably losing the 30 pounds helped, and having low blood pressure and everything, you know. Drank a Four Loko sour apple, felt sick for 24 hours. I probably won't be buying them again, says Hector Lopez. Captain Morgan, says Sun Tzu. I never tried Captain Morgan, except for the white, which is the unspiced. Okay, well, let's go to this. Okay, Four Loko. Yeah, the Four Loko black made me sick for like a day and a half. I just felt so bad. But I didn't have anybody to share it, and it was just like bad pacing and planning. It wasn't like I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to go crazy today, you know. Like I told y'all, I had friends that did all that, and I just did not like what I was viewing. I thought to myself, they're like screwed up in the head with all this drugs and alcohol, and they got no money. Well, you know where their money's going. Nice little alcohol legs. Now you can see the Cutty Sark is pale. pale, and the Dewar's is golden. So I got to be careful that I don't glance. And that's it for Cutty Sark. I poured it all out, bro. So it's all gone now. It's too bad because it was a great run. The Cutty Sark, I'm not going to say it won every contest because it certainly did not. I like the compass on it. But it most assuredly performed well, and it was an interesting product. It has a unique flavor, I think, and it's not just ordinary run-of-the-mill. Is it fabulous, great, like, oh, it's so detailed and everything? It's not like that, but you can tell it's well made. Like, they're very careful about Cutty Sark must always be perfectly made. Like Budweiser, you know, it's like always the same. It's too bad the people in England get like a 4.6% Budweiser. Get a watered down version because the Nanny State doesn't want them drinking too much. Like, oh, you know, Boris Karloff, their prime minister, Boris Karloff, and all of them, you know, they're like, oh, we don't want you to drink too much, so we're going to lower the alcohol to 4.6. They don't tell the beer company that, but they raise the taxes so high that it's like a punishment on the people. But that's what happens when you give up your freedom to dictatorial type governments like we're doing here, you know. But it's a stupid thing because all they got to do is drink they could just drink 2 bottles of Budweiser, you know. It's like in Florida. We don't sell 40-ounce bottles in Florida because people will drink too much. You can't buy a 40-ounce bottle of beer. So, you know, they just buy 2 32 ounces and drink 64. So that's usually the government, when they make rules, they're like foolish and they don't have the right outcome. They always have like the opposite outcome of what they're trying to accomplish. And that's a fact. Okay, Captain Morgan, I had the brown one. I almost drank the 70-liter centiliter bottle and I started, yeah, well, it was a bad story. I don't want to hear the story. You can become sick for a week if you drink the whiskey like beer. Yeah, well, that should be something you know, you should know that. It's 40% alcohol. Where a beer is 4 to 6%. But people do crazy things. Let's see, let me think. Cutty Sark in some areas is 46% instead of 40. I'm sorry, 43%. I was looking at the website. It says 40% alcohol and or 43%. Well, in the United States, we get the 40%. I wish we got the 43, but we don't. That smells, yeah, kind of pale. You say, what about the peat? And what about the smoke? Yeah, well, you ain't getting it here. And that smells about the same, pretty basic. What about the peat? What about the smoke? Well, it ain't happening here. I read online Miller Molson Coors is getting rid of Steel Reserve and Old English 800. No, that was a poorly written article. 48 is expensive. 43 is expensive. It is. The initial article was incorrect. They're getting rid of Old English 800 High Gravity, which has been on the market 20 years exactly, and nobody can get anyway. You never see it. I saw it on the road trip to Baltimore. Well, I was on the road trip to New York, but I passed through Baltimore, and I didn't even buy it. I said, I don't want this. I've had it before. It's kind of too strong, and I don't like it too much. It's well made. I'm not going to say it's bad, but those 8% are too strong for me. I can't handle them, but y'all might like them. I'd rather the 5.9. And they're not getting rid of Steel Reserve. They had everybody in the uproar, including me. They're getting rid of Steel Reserve Triple Export, the black can, which is the best of the 3, unfortunately. But same thing, limited distribution. I know they get that kind of dreadful one in Texas and Mississippi to 8.1%. It's not terrible, but if I never drank it again, I sure wouldn't miss it. Well, we get the 6% in Louisiana, the 6% Steel Reserve, and that is a good one. And my friend David, I saw he had an empty bottle in his garbage can. That is mild and mellow. That's what Steel Reserve should have been from the get-go. But they didn't add the 6% until 2003 after the Miller buyout. See, when I drank Steel Reserve back in 1998, it was the 8.1. In those bomber bottles, 22-ounce bomber bottles. And I thought, ooh, this stuff's kind of strong, I didn't drink it too much. But I mean, it was interesting. I mean, I would try anything back then. I'd just buy whatever I see at the store. And I was writing reviews in my mind because I didn't know anything about Beer Advocate, Rate Beer, anything like that. I was just categorizing them, cataloging them in my head. I didn't start writing any reviews till 2009, 12 years ago. Let's go with the taste challenge. It tastes like the Dewar's 12 because I'm getting that honey top sour leaf bread. I know it's not really like a sour leaf honey top bread, but I don't know what else to call it. I don't know how to describe that flavor. It's like a sweet flavor. It's not really honey. It's almost like it's got some kind of glaze, like a sweet glaze. I don't know. I'm just trying to put a signpost into my tasting to keep track of it. You say a signpost? What lodge are you in? Well, hey, look, let's keep it on the level, all right? Ha 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 ha. I guess that's a Cutty Sark, but I'm going to tell you right now. You can see I got my eyes. I don't see a big difference right here. What's the Cutty Sark age? We don't know. I think it's like between 6 and 8 years, something like that. But you see, they're not going to give an age statement because if the youngest whiskey is 6 years, they got to call it a 6-year age if they want to give it an age statement. Wouldn't matter if the oldest whiskey was 108 years old. So they just don't give it an age statement because you always have to go with the lowest age whiskey. True story. Like when you get Beam's 8-star blended, it's going to say this whiskey, the straight whiskeys are 2 years old. Well, it could be a 2, a 4, and a 6-year different Jim Beams aged. They got to go with the youngest. And anyway, the 8-star is a very cheap Beam product. It's much cheaper than Jim Beam, but like about $4 cheaper per bottle. And when you taste it, you're gonna see why it's cheaper. It's not as good as Jim Beam. On the other hand, it's not terrible. And if you go to a bar or restaurant and say, I want a Beam and Coke, you're probably getting the 8-star. You better keep your eyes open. And you say, hey, that's not Jim Beam. They say, you said Beam and Coke. It says Beam on the label. Yeah. This must be the Cutty Sark, yeah, because it's got a little peatiness in it. A little bit. And I remember Cutty Sark having that little peatiness twang. Tastes kind of like compost. You say compost, like you went in somebody's backyard and they had old eggshells and old rotted food thrown in there for that gardening. Well, yeah, it's kind of like that. And if you read the history of what peat is, it makes sense. I'm going to let you pay the $23 difference. I wouldn't do it. Now, y'all know I got that cheap, crazy price for the Dewar's 12. I told that story already. So I bought Dewar's 12, that big handle bottle, for the cheapest price in the world. It'll never happen again in my life. But you're going to have to pay $48.99, and that's if you're lucky. And be me, I just get the Cutty Sark, tell you the truth. It might not be as good, but if I got to sit here and say maybe, I'm not sure, well, could be, perhaps, I don't know. Well, there you go, right there. If you got a hem and heart and you got a winner, and it's the cheaper one. Anytime you got to start thinking about it with a high price and a much lower price, you got your answer. It's the cheap one that wins. I'm not paying all kind of extra money for a product that I got to think about for 20 minutes if it's better. Oh no. Jack. Let's go with the taste. Just got to be the Dewars. Oh, I'm scared now. Ha! That's the Cutty Sark. I had it wrong. I was saying the Cutty Sark had all those richer flavor. Wow, couldn't even tell them apart. And you saw I wasn't playing around, being foolish, and I was taking it serious. I mean, I was making little comments and all, but I mean, I was being serious. I couldn't even tell them apart. I don't know what happened, but this is like the third time. This is like the third time when I did Dewar's 12 and I couldn't get it right. Does that speak well for Dewars? Not really. It speaks bad for it because you're paying all this premium money and you're getting a product you can't tell apart from the other ones. Let's look at the comments. Oh boy, look at these comments. It's a shame that good tasting stuff is unhealthy. Well, I don't know. A lot of beers taste good and they're not unhealthy. Now people go crazy and say, I drank 12 beers. Well, yeah, I mean, use some, how about using some self-control and not going crazy? I know a lady that jogged. She says, healthy, I'm jogging. Yeah, it was healthy. But she was excessive, crazy, like a nut. And she jogged. She'd be out jogging 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, all around New Orleans. Hip replacement on both hips, I think. Total breakdown in her hip joint. Well, I mean, taking a good thing and then going crazy with it on that hard concrete. I said, well, you might not be able to walk, but at least you're skinny. It's sad. And we used to have so much fun going to games together and stuff, go to her house for Mardi Gras and watch football. You couldn't stop her for doing it. Just passing through the Terrace Hill, like Terrence Hill. Okay, sons. No, good tasting stuff is not unhealthy. Now, I would argue that is RC Cola and Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper and Pepsi really good tasting? Maybe I know my hair's sticking up. I washed it. It's drying. Maybe if you get the cane sugar flavored ones, they're good tasting. But you get that high fructose corn syrup one. Now, during the springtime, if you get the Dr. Pepper with the yellow cap, I believe that's certified kosher for Passover. It's like some little shibboleth they put on there. Nobody else going to notice. They might not even think about why it's got a yellow cap. But that's a certified, and if it's certified kosher for Passover, it's got to use real cane sugar. So that's like a little tip off. And if you have a trained eye, you can catch on to those things. I'll miss Milwaukee's Best Premium, says Ethan. That was a decent beer at an insanely low price. I don't know if the price was insanely low. It wasn't really that low around here. $3.99 a six-pack, that's insanely low these days. But it was never that cheap here, except maybe in 2004. But yeah, it's a really nice beer. And it had been on the market since 1895. But what can we say? Leave it up to the big companies and they'll destroy a legacy product. I see Cutty Sark is only 12 euros in Holland. Wow. That's about the same price here. Cutty Sark can't win this at all. Well, it won. Well, it won. What can I say? It won. I had no favorite. I don't care about Cutty Sark or Dewars. That's products on the shelf. I have no embedded loyalty to either one. I can assure you of that. Some people will claim that with me. You got favorites. You have favorites with beer. And so I said, no, you have to have a child's mentality to believe that. As if I have a favorite. I'm at the beer aisle of the grocery store. I'm eyeing Labatt Blue. Should I try it? I've never had it. Yes, I would try it for sure. But notice that the bottles are only 11.5 ounces. Strange. Jim Beam's Devil Cut, you should review. I plan on it, but I got that Jim Beam 8-year black label to do. Got a whole handle. I got it for $32.95. So it's an old bottle. They don't give an age statement anymore. So I got an old classic. Toon Van Rouge says, "Good day, Ronald. Greetings from the Netherlands. Greetings to you in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Jack Daniel's Green Label versus Jim Beam Devil's Cut. Sound like a good plan, but I don't have any more Green Label. Or is it the black label I'm out of? Yeah, but the green label only have about two, maybe one taste challenge left. I mean, it's Poitun Nekton Brander of Niet. Jazziker. I don't speak Dutch. I can learn Dutch pretty fast. It's like English. Dutch and English about the same. Wow, wrong all along. What an upset. The Cutty Sark wins. I know, I can't believe it. Hypotheker. I'm not reading all this stuff. Marathon runners do that. I know alcoholics that jog insane also, yeah. Saints don't have Drew Brees anymore. Well, they ain't going to make the playoffs with what they got. Look who the two contenders are for starting quarterback, and then you'll know they're going to, they'd be lucky to go 8 wins, 9 losses, the way I see it. Do you think the hard water trends will continue? Those seltzer beers? Oh, yeah, they'll go on for a while, but then, around about 2023, they'll be dying out, and they'll be in the closeout buggy, and then there'll just be a few left. They won't have this whole huge section of seltzers. It'll just be the small seltzer. I think. Now, I could be totally wrong. But look at all these beer styles that were hot for, well, I don't know if that IPA was hot for too long. What was those dry IPAs? What were they called? Those dry IPAs? I can't remember the name. Everybody was like making a brute, like brute champagne. Boy, everybody came out with a brute IPA, and then like in 10 minutes it was gone. Everybody was trying to get rid of it. I like those. Hello, Beer Hound. Seagram's Gin says tip. Yeah. And the black label, the black and gold label is the good one. That's the Distiller's Reserve. It's going to cost you more, but it's way better. Yeah. Way better. Yeah. Do you like Kombucha IPA? Kombucha IPA. I really don't have any experience with that. Jack Daniels now has Sinatra Select. It's expensive. I've seen that. I tried. I just got to get to it, I remember in the 90s, the red beer trend. Yeah. Says Lewis. Yeah, they had the Red Wolf and Red Dog. Red Dog was kind of like slightly red. Red Tail. Yeah, Red Wolf was the best of them. Man, I used to drink that when we would go out after work on Fridays, after teaching school. We would go out to Bertha's, which has been demolished. These restaurants don't make it. But I'll get Red Wolf. I'm talking about like in 96, 97. And then it was gone. But dry beer, same thing. I never drank those when we went out. I would drink Red Wolf or like Corona. I used to drink Corona before I was told that I wasn't supposed to like it. The craft beer people told me, Corona's a terrible beer. I said, oh, okay. I always liked it, but now that I know, I'll make sure I don't drink it. I reviewed a couple kombucha IPAs, and it was a nice change from beer. Okay. Red Tail was the hawk on the, oh, yeah. You talking about from Mendocino Brewing. They're out of business. That was good. It was kind of strong and gamey, though, like a lot of their beers. Guess they had a little bit too strong of a flavor for most people. If you could bring back one discontinued beer, what would it be? So William Ennis. I guess it would be Bud Dry. No, Schaefer's still around. I saw somebody bought Schaefer last week. Not here, but in Virginia. They sell hard liquor in grocery stores in Louisiana. Yep. Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Mathern's, Food for Less. They all sell hard liquor. You ever review Schmidt's? Well, I think so. Yeah, I got some when I was up in Pennsylvania. I heard they've brought it back in New York. I would bring Founders. Oh, yeah, Founders Imperial Stout. But they keep bringing it back, and then they get rid of it. It's back, and then it's gone. Best stout I ever tried. Oops, my budgie was disoriented. Oh, sorry. Coronavirus is terrible. Well, yeah, all viruses are not too nice, really, to tell you the truth. I would bring back Miller Genuine Draft. It's back. Mathern's got Miller Genuine Draft, cases and cases of it, 12 packs, all in the store. All in the store. All right. Well, I'm shocked, but I'm not really total. I'm shocked, but I'm not totally surprised, really. And you know why? Because look at the trend with these taste challenges with Dewar's 12. It's been winning, but look who it beats. Now, let's think about that for a minute. It's beating all these really low-priced blended scotches, which don't have a whole lot going for them. They're not bad, but they don't have much flavor at all. Well, then we start bringing in these underlings that are maybe, like Dewar's is like $35, talking about the 12-year-old, talking about regular size bottle. So then you start bringing in like the 13 and the 14 and the $15 bottles, and they start winning. So I got a feeling that Dewar's 12 is going to get destroyed by some upcoming brands. Because I got some heavy hitters coming in that's not playing games. Cutty Sark is not playing games, and Dewar's found out. Hundred Pipers, that could be scary. Chivas, Regal 12, Dewar's might be in trouble. And Chivas is bland. Chivas Mitsunara, that's going to destroy Dewar's. Will destroy Dewar's. Don't even ask what's going to happen with Buchanan's 12. That's going to be a horrendous beating. You want to see somebody get beat real bad? Just keep your eye open, and when you see Dewar's 12 versus Buchanan's 12-year, get ready for a beating. A beating. It's going to be sad. It's going to be terrible. Johnny Walker Red Label is going to probably beat it. And Johnny Walker Red Label, I saw that yesterday for $17.99. I don't think Johnny Walker Red Label is going to lose to Dewar's 12. I really don't. You say, what about Johnny Walker Blue Label? Wow. That's going to be so shameful. I shouldn't even do that video. You know, why even do it? You say, but you got to, because what if you're wrong? You know, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I think it's going to be bad, you know. Then that'll be it for the Scotch, and we got to move on to brandy. People say, oh, brandy, that's not cool. Cool people don't drink brandy. Oh, well, I'm not cool, so I can get away with it. Keystone Ice and CBS. Oh, well, those would be two good ones to bring back. What's your favorite Mexican beer? Probably Modelo Negra. A big upset today, you're right. My budgie is back on my shoulder. He likes your voice. Hello, budgie. How you doing, little budge? My favorite Mexican beer is Bohemia. That's a good one. Crown Lager. Never had it. It's from Australia, isn't it? I'd love to try it. It's an all malt, kind of like a Michelob of Australia. Nobody buys it because it's like an old man's beer, a grandfather's beer. It's probably really good. Just tuned in. I'll start listening from the beginning. Cheers, Ronald. Okay, Craig, that sounds good. It's going to be an upset. We won't spoil the we won't spoil the ending. If Blue loses to Dewar's 12, I'm done watching this. I wouldn't blame you. Just cancel the channel out of your mind, right? Those are the ones that make you the scared, most nervous of all, because you say, well, Blue Label should win out running away. So when I do those, I think Blue Label should win so easily. I saw a commercial for Blue Label today, believe it or not, on TBS during the White Sox at Rays game. It was Blue Label, not Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker Blue Label specifically. It was a commercial for it. I said, oh, boy. I said, oh, they're advertising the $250 bottle, the $265. Everybody's going up in the world, using that stimulus check for the Blue Label. But those are the ones that make you the most nervous, because you say, what if I fail? I'm going to be so ashamed, He makes good sounds. My budgie's from Australia. I think most of them are. Rainier. I wasn't totally thrilled with it. He whistles. I made up Crown. Means Corona. That's right. They got Crown from Australia, Corona from Mexico, and it all means Crown. All right. Well, thanks for watching this upset. I never would have. Okay. I might have entertained the idea. I never would have actually expected it, but I was a little concerned earlier. I was thinking, boy, just think of that thing if I don't get it right. So I was thinking about that, ooh. Hey, Burley. I'm not going to get on here lying to him that I was totally confident today. I wasn't really totally confident. Now, with 100 Pipers, a 3-year age basic Scotch, although it's very popular in India. It's one of the top 3 or 4 in India, but we're not in India. You would think and you would hope that the Dewar's 12 would annihilate it Tuesday morning, but I'm not totally confident in that. Thanks for watching this video production. Well, you are the upset winner today, Cutty Sark, and you have performed oh so very well in my taste challenges over the last few years. And now we are retiring you. Next time y'all see Cutty Sark, it's going to be a black bottle and 100 proof. Ooh, Buchanan's is awesome. Buchanan's is the best. It's the best out of 12 years that I've tried. You know, the blended Scotch, Buchanan's is the best. The best. The best. The best.